Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, my highly respected and distinguished colleagues, the fifth order of the day is the presentation and consideration of the report of the Committee on Health on the Mental Health and Substance Abuse Bill 2020. Distinguished senators will recall that the bill was referred to the committee on Wednesday, 20th November 2019. Mr. President, I invite distinguished Senator Ibrahim Yahaya Olori-Egbe, Chairman of the committee, to move the motion for the presentation and consideration of the report.
Distinguished Senator Ibrahim Yahaya Olori-Egbe.
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. Ibrahim Yahaya Olori-Egbe, Kwara Central. Mr. President, I rise to move that the Senate do receive and consider the report of the Committee on Health on the Mental Health and Substance Abuse Bill 2020, SB 66. I so move, Mr. President.
I need a seconder. Senator Tolu Odebi.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the bill, the motion moved by my distinguished colleague to present the report of the Committee on Health to repeal the Lunacy Act cap laws of Nigeria. I so second.
Thank you. Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion that the Senate receives and considers the report of our Committee on Health, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Chairman, you lay the report, please. Chairman, you may present the report. But where's the report? Okay, keep it there.
Mr. President, distinguished colleague, I rise to present the report of the Committee on Health for a bill for an act to repeal the Lunacy Act Cap 524 of Nigeria, to establish a mental health department to promote and protect the rights of persons with mental health conditions and persons with intellectual, psychosocial, or cognitive disability, and to provide the enhancement and regulation of mental health service in Nigeria. Mr. President, with your permission, I will just highlight part of the report that are essential.
No, go ahead.
For a coherent, rational, and unified response to the delivery of mental health service in Nigeria, to promote and protect the fundamental human rights and freedom of all persons with mental health conditions, and ensure that their rights are guaranteed, to ensure a better quality of life through access to an integrated, well-planned, effectively organized, and efficiently delivered mental health care service in Nigeria, and to repeal the Lunacy Act of 1964, which is archaic in the management of mental health conditions in Nigeria, and whose provision infringed fundamental rights of persons suffering from mental health conditions. Mr. President, having gone through all the legislation process, including receipt of submissions and public hearing, the committee, I'm now going to the final part of the report, sir, found and observed as follows: that the consensus of opinion of stakeholders at the public hearing favored the repeal of the extant law, the Replacement Act, and the enactment of the new bill. The Lunacy Act enacted in 1964 is a cake and long overdue for repeal. That the bill in its current form, if passed into law, will address the gap hitherto created by the old Act in the treatment and management of mental health in Nigeria, including the fundamental human right of access of persons to healthcare services. And the proposed legislation bill did not create or establish any new agency or commission that will attract extra budgetary funding by the federal government of Nigeria. The Committee on Health, to which the bill was referred to, therefore recommend as follows: that a bill for an act to repeal the Lunacy Act 524 laws of Nigeria, to establish a mental health department, to promote and protect the right of persons with mental health conditions and persons with intellectual, psychological, or cognitive disability, and to provide for the enhancement and regulation of mental health in Nigeria, having considered same report, accordingly recommend that the Senate do consider and pass the bill. I so move, Mr. President.
Any comments? Leader of the Senate, Committee of the Whole.
Mr. President, my highly respected and distinguished colleagues, I rise to move a motion for the Senate to resolve in the Committee of the Whole to consider the report. I so move.
Minority Leader.
Mr. President, I rise to second the motion that the Senate resolves into a Committee of the Whole for consideration of this report.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion that the Senate resolves into Committee of the Whole to consider the report clause by clause, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, this is not a controversial bill. So we take we may take 4 or 5 clauses at a time. And there are 59 clauses in the bill. Those in favor that clauses 1 to 5 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 6 deals with the governing board of the commission. Those in favor that clauses 6 to 10 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clauses 11 to 15 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clauses 15 to 20 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clauses 21 to 25 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clauses 25 to 30. Those in favor that clauses 25 to 30 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clauses 31 to 35 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clauses 36 to 40 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clauses 41 to 45. Those in favor that clauses 41 to 45 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clauses 46 to 50 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clauses 51 to 55 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clauses 56 to 59 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Schedules. Those in favor that paragraph 1 stand part of the schedule say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Explanatory memorandum. Those in favor that the explanatory memorandum stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The short title. Those in favor that the short title stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The long title on page 1. Those in favor that the long title stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, my highly respected and distinguished colleagues, I rise to move the motion for the chair to resume progress, to resume plenary in order to report progress. I so move.
Motion as moved.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the Senate reverse to plenary for the chair to report progress say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The Senate in the Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Committee on Health on the Mental Health and Substance Abuse Establishment Bill 2020 and approved as follows: clauses 1 to 58 as recommended, schedule as recommended, explanatory memorandum as recommended, short title as recommended, long title as recommended. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? Thank you. The Senate.
Mr. President, I rise to move a motion for this bill to be read the third time.
Minority Leader. Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion that the bill be now read a third time, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to provide for the establishment and regulation of mental health and substance abuse services, protect persons whose mental health needs, and establishment of National Commission for Mental and Substance Abuse Services for the effective management of mental health in Nigeria and for other related matters, 2020 SB 66, third reading.
A bill for an act to provide for the establishment and regulation of mental health and substance abuse services, protect persons with mental health needs, and establishment of National Commission for Mental and Substance Abuse Services for the effective management of mental health in Nigeria and for other related matters, 2020, read the third time and passed. Congratulations. Leader of the Senate.